Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name's Acacia. I need a tripod. Like bad. Because this whole setup is just, it's weird and I don't like it and it's okay. I'm coming up on a year. Eventually I will have like real human, well, not real human, but like more professional equipment things happening here, but we'll get there eventually. So I have filmed this haul multiple times. It's become a little ridiculous. My whole family is sick. So every time I sit down to film, someone walks through the room coughing or sneezing. And right now, it's just me and my dad at the house, which is the quietest time to film, aside from nobody being here, which doesn't happen very often. So we're going to film a couple videos today. And we're going to start today with the October Part 1 book haul. So, we have paperbacks, books from publishers, and then I have 4 hardbacks. So I'm going to start with the hardbacks. The first one is Into White by Randy Pink. This is a African-American author. This is the story of a black woman who is young and wants to be white, and she wakes up one morning and finds out she is white. Now, this is a magical-ish sort of fantasy feel. It definitely reminds me of the book Black Ass, but I'm curious to see it done in a YA portrait with a female character, because Black Ass didn't do it for me, and I didn't know why, so I'm curious to see if it's the story that I don't buy, or the character from that book that I didn't buy. This is Histo Pia, which is by David Means. This is a novel that was longlisted for the Man Booker Prize. And this is a story about the Vietnam War vets coming back and being almost brainwashed to forget the traumas that they went through. And it talks about the idea of, does trauma hold in the body or the mind? Where does it stay? What works? What doesn't? It's a sci-fi, weird, kind of crazy ride, I've heard, and I'm very excited to read it and see a little bit more about the idea of memory lapse occurring to protect somebody from their trauma, because that's one of the things that DID is it is actually, that is essentially what it is. It is a amnesic barrier placed in the brain by yourself to avoid the trauma. And this does that with science. So I'm very curious to see how that works, how it's executed, and what the end results are. This is The Maker of Swans by Perea O'Donnell, and I'm going to stand by that pronunciation because I don't know if it's right or wrong. I tried a million times to figure it out, but it's not sticking in my brain the way I want it to, so I'm going to go with that. This is supposedly a gothic-esque, weird Victorian story of a young girl who comes to a mansion and she has some sort of powers. I have been looking forward to this for an immense amount of time, and I finally received it and got it in a naked hardback. When I say I finally received it, I mean I ordered it a while ago and it finally arrived. This is Little Nothing, a novel by Marissa Silver. Now, this I saw on Mercedes' channel, and I heard her compare it to Geek Love, and that kind of fairy tale, dark, weird, twisted feel, and I was very immersed in that idea, very curious about it, and then I saw the cover, and I fell in love, and I couldn't pass it up. Moving on to this book. This is A Dollhouse by Henrik Ibsen. Yes, you saw this last haul in a full collection of all of Henrik Ibsen's collections of plays. Yes, I own it already. Yes, it was a purchase, but yes, it was a purchase from another part. There was a miscommunication there. There's been a lot of miscommunications between me and my parts recently. It's been a very rough couple of weeks for me in the communication of me and my parts, so I'm just kind of trying to start over and reassess the situation. Next, we have The Geek Feminist Revolution by Kameron Hurley. This is an essay collection talking about the idea of geek culture, females' places in it, females' contribution to it. I'm very excited. I hope this is going to be wonderful and extremely well done. I'm very much looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be a great read. The next 2 are going to be Victorian novels that are going to be slightly gothic. I'm very excited about both of them. They're both by Essie Fox. This is Elijah's Mermaid, and this is the Somnambulist. Words not working. This one, I believe, is about the theater and a gothic fear and the ballet and some weird things happening, dark secrets, weirdness in London. I'm very excited about it. And it's all set with loss, love, murder, grief, and madness in Victorian England. So right up my alley. And then Elijah's Mermaid is set with two orphaned twins making a trip to London. It's bewitching, gothic, tense tale of love, betrayal, realms of art and literature mingling into the murky demi-mode and where nothing is quite as it seems. I'm on board with both of those. Hopefully I will get them done in this winter time coming up. Both of them were published by the same group, and they're different cover types, and it kind of bothers me that the textures are different, but I'm gonna let it be what it is. Then we have Between the World and Me, and this is by Ta-Nehisi Coates. I'm gonna go with that. If I'm wrong, please correct me. This is a letter from a black gentleman to his son, talking about being a black man in America and in cultures and the world and civilization and what their role is and what they've been forced to have a role in and what their history is. And I'm very, very excited to read it. I've heard incredible things, and I think it's extremely important. Next, we have this. This is My Dead Pets Are Interesting by Lenore Zion. She wrote Stupid Children. Yep, she wrote Stupid Children. And that was the story that I read recently, talking about a young girl who goes into foster care with a cult family. This is her nonfiction talking about the psychology of the brain. I'm very curious. I'm very excited. And Lenore was actually a psychology major, so I think this should be very good. I really don't know what to expect writing style wise because it claims nonfiction, but it looks like it's written like a novel, so I'm really not sure what that's gonna look like. Then we have They Poured Fire on Us from the Sky, the true story of 3 lost boys from Sudan. This is Benson Dang, Alphon Shundang, Benjamin Ajak, with Judy A. Bernstein. And this, I'm ready to cry. I'm ready to get really emotional. But if this is about refugees, which I think it is, and about being taken from your home and about losing your place in the world, I need to read it. It's not just a want to read it. It's something that I need to learn about, and it's something that I need to be aware of and come to terms with as a real thing. So I'm going to do that. And then this, okay, I need sticker. Please come off in one. Oh, Powell's Books, you make me so happy. Your sticker comes off in one go, like a good sticker should. This is The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I am super stoked. I saw the new cover and I fell in love, and then Mercedes was talking about how this is one of her favorite horrors, and I couldn't leave it alone because I couldn't. And yeah, very beautiful with French flaps. I think it's stunning, and it matches my edition of We Have Always Lived in a Castle, I think. It's a little different, but it's close. Next, I picked up these two for a steal, which I'm very happy about. I found these like new in I'm sure you guys can't hear, but my next door neighbors have 6 kids, and they tend to scream at each other like there's someone being killed. So right now they're screaming at each other, fire. Or you're fired. I don't really know. All right, these are the 2 books that I picked up that I'm super excited about that are like new. They are new. This is Tales from the Tower Volume 1, The Willful Eye, and this is Tales from the Tower Volume 2, The Wicked Wood. These are both short story collections about fairy tales, and they're from Australia, and I am so excited to have both of them, and I'm really happy with the editions that I received, as well as like the size I'm in love with, and then the covers. I'm just obsessed with these. I think they're stunning. Last but not least, book I picked up myself, Reader, I Married Him, Jane Steele by Lindsay Fay. This is one that I've just heard great things about. Talks about Jane Eyre, gives kind of reference to that. I'm just really excited about this. I think it's going to be a really interesting look into psychology and death and murder and feelings of loss and family rejection. So I'm in 110%. Then these are the books that I received from publishers. The first one is by Una, and this is Becoming Unbecoming. This is a short story novel, graphic novel, and it is about a young girl coming of age in the, I believe, the 70s. She's coming of age in the 70s, and she is depicting in this... Yeah, she is depicting in this book the Yorkshire serial killer who is a sexual predator of women and a serial killer, and what she's feeling as a child and what's happening in her life. I need to reread it. I read it the first day I received it, and I wasn't present for the whole reading, and I feel really bad about that, so I need to reread it to really give it a full thought process, but I remember enjoying it, and I just need to reassess. This is Each Vagabond by Name, and this is by Margot Orlando Little. This is from Uno Press, which is University of New Orleans Press, and I am so stoked, so excited, so happy to have this. This does have to do with mental illness, the publisher said. It's definitely going to be wonderful and beautiful, and I'm so excited to have my hands on it. I saw it on Mercedes' channel and immediately requested it from the publisher, and they were happy enough to oblige, which I was so grateful for. Then ECW Press sent me 2 books. The first one is this one. This is House of Blazes by Diet Rich Caltius, and this is a murder mystery. And I am very, very excited because it has a lot to do with the psychology of the murderer and the traumas, and it has a map at the beginning, which we all know that a map at the beginning means it's going to be good, right? Because that's a thing. Yes, I think this is going to be absolutely a lot of fun, really interesting, and I'm hoping to get to it this fall so that we can kind of feel the creepiness of it, because look at that cover. That's so fall. Although, do you know what this reminds me of? This cover reminds me of the scene in Gone with the Wind where Georgia is burning to the ground. That's what it reminds me of. Next is this. This is The Clay Girl. This is a novel by Heather Tucker. I can't tell you enough good things about it. I think this is the most beautiful book I've read this year so far. I'm not saying it's my favorite book I've read. I'm saying it's the most beautiful book I've read. Not just cover, but words too. It has stolen my heart. It has made me completely immersed. It is about a young girl who is coping with the fact that her mother committed suicide. Her father is a drug dealer and a drug addict, and she is now developing an imaginary friend and trying to cope with the world, and the way that she sees the world is in this magical fairyish kind of realm, and everything around her is magical, but she's describing it to you, so you're seeing everything in the magical format that she sees it. It's absolutely fantastic. I love it. And then last but not least, Europa Publishing sent me this. This is Alexander Maxick, and this is Shelter in Place. This is a book about a young gentleman who suffers from bipolar disorder, and his girlfriend finds out that his mother killed someone, and she's hoping to help him use the same anger that his mother felt to do the same thing. So those are the books that I have for the first part of October. I don't know if I will have a second part of October. I'm hoping if I do, it'll be small, just because I have a really big book shopping trip planned in November for my birthday, and I'm hoping to receive some other books for my birthday, so we shall see what that looks like. I'll keep you updated. I will see you in my next video.